So today we're going to be talking about building the kind of retired life that you actually want to live. Coming up next. Hi again, everybody. My name is Dee Burks, and this is Retirement Rescue. And part of planning for or enhancing your retirement is figuring out what kind of life, what kind of lifestyle is going to suit you best and starting to create that. For some people, that may mean a condo on the coast in Florida or South Texas or wherever. For other people, it may be a cabin in the mountains. That's where they want to live. Still others, they want to live near their children. They want to experience their grandchildren and their grandchildren as young adults and all that has to offer. All of those are fabulous. But it's also about building a life of your own that you really, really want to live. And I've been thinking a lot about that. And here lately, and I know I've mentioned this in other videos, but I've actually started on my little path of raising rabbits and quail for meat. I also really wanted to get back to having a garden. I love the rural lifestyle. When we're talking about rescuing your retirement, the focus for me is creating a retired life eventually over the next few years that I'm going to enjoy living every day. I've already been semi-retired. I know that there has to be a purpose and a motivation to get you out of bed in the morning, because what a lot of people don't tell you is retired life can be really boring if you do not have a purpose, if you don't have a reason to get up. And being able to keep myself really engaged in what I'm producing and what I'm doing and having animals around is going to add to my life. It already has, and I know it will continue to, but I really want that to be part of my retirement, is to have that portion of my life fulfilled. And so that's why I'm doing it. The why is very important. I tell people all the time who are thinking about, oh, maybe I'll garden or maybe I'll raise animals. You know, it's not about the end product. If all you're wanting is a great tasting tomato, or all you're wanting is a rabbit that you can pet, this is not for you. This is for people who understand and enjoy the work it takes to produce the end result. They're not the people who just want the end result. If you just want an end result, you can get it cheaper, quicker, easier by going to the farmer's market, buying it from another local producer. You hear the jokes all the time of the people talking about the $400 tomato and they just got their $1,000 chicken egg, and because it takes so much money, time, and energy to produce those things on a very, very small scale. So it's really not about getting a cheap end result or getting the end result itself. It's about enjoying the process. And for me, I enjoy every season when I have a garden. I enjoy it. I enjoy growing my own fruit. I enjoy growing my own squash. You know, being able to walk outside and pick it off the plant and cook it right then. To me, that is fabulous. This last year, I didn't have my raised beds ready to go, so I just planted a few big pots on my patio. And as it turned out this year, and I've talked about this previously, we had 3 big hailstorms where I live. And they were spaced out such that people who had gardens, they got them hailed out 3 times in a row. Producers that would produce things for the farmer's market also got hailed out. That's what I'm talking about being in control of the supply. You think, well, I'll just go to the farmer's market. Not if they get hailed out, you don't. Farming is not a guaranteed thing. So having a garden is not a guaranteed thing. But because my plants were under my patio, and so they were sheltered from that hail, I had tomatoes all season long. I had squash all season long. And let me tell you what, I enjoyed it so much. So that is going to continue to be part of what I do, is producing things under a patio as well as in my yard. But I am really looking at all those ways and all those things that will enhance my life when I am retired. And I'm setting those things up now. That is one of those things that I cannot encourage you to do enough, because what happens if you get to retirement and you try all these things and you don't like them, or you don't like some of them? Well, that's great, at least you know. But I'm trying everything out now and seeing how it's going to fit in my life now. If there's something that doesn't fit, whether that be raising rabbits or doing such an extensive garden or whatever, I can scale it back or change it. Nothing is set in stone. And that's the beauty of this sort of small scale testing things out. And that's one of those things that you should do. Test out, okay, where's your community going to be? Is it going to be at a community center? Is it going to be at a senior center? What are you going to be doing? Are you going to be volunteering? Test it out. See if it's something you're even going to enjoy. There are several people I've talked to here lately who have told me that, number one, retirement wasn't what they thought it was going to be. Shocking, but it never is. And number two, they had all these plans of stuff they were going to enjoy, and it turns out they don't enjoy them. They don't really even like them. Well, you're not stuck. But it's always good to test those things out to create your community. Another thing I love about getting into something like raising rabbits or raising quail is I'm meeting all these young people who are producing those things. They're breeders, rabbit breeders, they're gardeners, they work for nonprofits who are doing agriculture on small scale, and that has been really fulfilling as well. It is good to meet new people who are interested in doing what you like to do, who are interested in learning and helping you learn. One of the things that has kind of bothered me here lately is so many of my friends are older than me, and they're either dying off or they're getting well beyond the time where they can truly enjoy their retirement. They can't travel anymore. They can't go to conferences anymore, like book conferences. Their days of getting out and working their yard, their garden are completely done. And I've realized I need to expand my network of people into younger people. And so I am starting to do that now, before I retire. I want to create those situations now. There's no reason to wait. There's no reason to hope it's going to be there later. I want to have all those connections now to make that as smooth as possible. However, I live right in the middle of a city right now. That's not going to change anytime soon. There are certain conveniences and things about living in a city that I do not want to give up to live out in the country somewhere. I'm also one person. I'm just one person. I don't need anything that requires a lot of infrastructure, a lot of equipment, that I'm going to need an extra person to do. I'm one person. So I started thinking about all the things that I love to do. Beyond the arts that I do, the writing books, the painting, all of that sort of things I do. I love to grow things. I love to grow food. I love to grow flowers. I also like to grow animals. And animals for food, to me, sounds like a lifestyle that I would really enjoy in retirement. Now, having said that, I realize that's not for everybody, but I really want to lean into more of a carnivore diet, especially for the mental clarity that that sort of diet gives you as you age. Very attractive to me because the brain fog, y'all, whoo, sometimes gets to me. So I really want to lean more into that lifestyle and that style of eating. Well, to me, I am tired of going to the grocery store and wondering where this meat came from. Is it pumped full of stuff? Is it really good to eat? And hearing constantly on the news recall after recall of fresh lettuce or fresh food that, by the way, you've already consumed way after the fact, and how it's got E. coli or some other such nonsense on it. I'd rather grow my own. I really want to grow my own. I enjoy growing it. And I'm one person. It's not that hard to grow food for one person. But one of the things I really wanted to add were these animals. I love taking care of animals. I love knowing where my food comes from. I don't have any problem processing those animals myself. I've done it before. It's simple. It's easy for me. I would rather do that and know I have great quality food and food that I am raising myself. I know how the animals were raised, what they were fed. I know that there's no chemicals in the meat. It doesn't come from God knows where. around the world these days, and it's really high quality food. That's important to me, especially in retirement. That's how I want to spend some of my time, is doing that. That's not everybody. I get it. That's not everybody. But that is going to be, I hope, part of my life. Now, I hope this really gives you something to think about, that you're really thinking about what's going to add to my life. How do I want things to be 4, 5, 6 years from now, 10 years from now, when I actually do retire? What relationships do I want to be there? What involvement do I want to have in different things within the community? What do I want my life to look like every day? Those are great questions to start asking yourself right now. And my suggestion is don't wait. Don't wait to start those things. Go ahead, jump in now, see what you like, see what you don't, and create that kind of life that you really want to live. If you've enjoyed this video, please click share and leave a comment. And I'll see you next time.